Hello everyone and welcome into today's video where we are checking out VeChain. So this is gonna be an overview of the VeChain, and also we will check out the price charts of the two tokens, so stay tuned for that one. And just before we start, it would be amazing if you could smash the like button to help me with the YouTube algorithm to reach more people, and also consider subscribing for more future crypto content to keep you up to date. But now let's get into the video. So here we are on the VeChain.org. Again, you will find this link in the video description, and here we can see on the homepage they have some resources, etc. But for more info we have to go to the white paper, and this is actually the white paper 2.0, which also describes the POA 2.0, which is the proof of authority 2.0, which should be coming fully on the protocol in the next few weeks. However, I will come back to this proof of authority consensus in a moment. On the left here we can jump quickly to the use cases to get a better idea what the VeChain is actually good for. And again, if we scroll down a little bit over this introduction, we can finally find a use case number one, which is a provenance for food and beverage. And just before we dive into these individual use cases, the overarching use case is basically making supply chains more transparent and putting them on the blockchain itself so everyone can look them up. It's very secure, etc. All the benefits from blockchain. And for example, with the food and beverage provenance, they are addressing quite a poor transparency within the supply chain of food and beverage, which is very important because, for example, the WHO reports that almost 1 in 10 people in the world fall ill after eating contaminated food. And they are solving this problem with the VeChain, and basically there are gonna be some QR codes or RFID chips on the products, and this information will be transmitted to the blockchain and secured on the blockchain. There will be information such as the source and ingredients of the products, geographic location, logistics information, inspection report, even temperature data, and all this data is stamped and cryptographically signed by the party who produced the data. So basically, when you receive the product, you can look on the blockchain and see basically where it came from, what's the source, and what is it made of. Another use case is anti-counterfeits and digitization for high-value products. There was this report in 2018 that the total amount of counterfeiting has reached 1.2 trillion US dollars in 2017, and it should be even more these days, almost 2 trillion, pretty large portion of the market. And again, they are aiming to allow brands to digitize products on the blockchain by using, for example, smart NFC tags in their products. So if you buy something like very expensive clothes or some Yeezys or any luxury products, then they could have these NFC tags which you just scan and find on the blockchain if they are signed by the official brand, therefore making it undeniably verified as the official product. Another quite a cool use case is this digital vehicle passport, because as you may have experienced, the mileage is being rolled back on up to 50% of the second-hand cars, for example, in European Union. And of course, the car dealerships are not able to identify all cases. And in total, this fraud can cost up to 5.6 to 9.6 billion euros per year, affecting all the customers, second-hand car dealers, leasing companies, insurers, and manufacturers as well. So VeChain is proposing this digital vehicle passport solution, which will be storing and securing critical data on the VeChain Thor blockchain across the entire life cycle of the automobile. And it's targeted to exchange the data peer-to-peer among car manufacturers, repair shops, insurance providers, years, etc., containing all the important information: when the car was created, how it was maintained, also data from the car computer, etc., to prevent those type of frauds. And you would basically have a whole history of the car when you are buying it second-hand. I think by this point you pretty much got the idea, but there are many more use cases and solutions, so I will put the link to this white paper below as well. You can check this out. And going back to the homepage, we can also check out the proof of authority consensus, which is behind the VeChain ecosystem. The proof of authority is a type of proof of stake concept, so it's very low on computation power. Also, with the proof of authority 2.0, it is gonna be impossible to fork the chain, so much better security will be added. And also they have built in smart contracts because proof of stake is working on Ethereum blockchain, so VeChain is running on Ethereum blockchain as well. And they have also quite a strong governance. If we jump back into the white paper, we can see here in the governance section they have stakeholders with voting authority. They are authority master nodes and also economic X nodes. It's all quite complicated, but basically you have all kinds of different tiers of those governing nodes, which each has a minimum VET, which is the VeChain token, which has to be staked in order to be in this node tier. And for example, if you want to have this biggest authority master nodes, you have to stake 25 million tokens. So pretty substantial amount. For example, in US dollars, that's a few million US dollars, so not that cheap. And also you can earn some portion, some percentage from staking your token. So you will not just have a voting power, you will also be collecting a new VeChain tokens from the staking. And on top of this, if the value of the tokens goes up, your holdings are gonna be appreciating on value as well. So that was the governance. And then we have this economic model, which consists of those two token system, the VeChain token and the VeChain Thor token. So we have the VeChain token as the smart money for business activities and financial activities. And then we have the second VeChain Thor token, which is for the energy, for the gas on the blockchain. So it's used for paying for transactions and also smart contract execution. The difference is that the VeChain token has a limited supply. We will check this on the CoinGecko in a second. And the VeChain Thor token doesn't have a limited supply. And this is pretty much it for this short overview. Now let's jump into the tokenomics and the price chart. So taking a look here on the CoinGecko, we can see that the VeChain is actually number 14 in the market cap with almost 13 billion US dollars. And this important part is there is this limited circulating supply of 86 billion tokens, and at the moment there is almost 65 billion tokens in the circulation. And when we checked out the governance and these authority nodes where you have to stake like 25 million tokens, if you add all those authority nodes, you get quite a few billion tokens which are already locked up in the chain and cannot be traded because they are used for the governance. So this also makes the total supply a bit lower, therefore could increase the price. And if we check out the second token, the VTHO token, it is much smaller. It's a rank 124 with a market cap of just over $500 million US dollars. But this one doesn't have a limited supply, so that's the main difference. And now we are gonna check out the price charts. So as first we are looking at the VeChain token, so the VET in regards to the US dollar, and we can see that at the moment we are around 0.2 US dollars, so kind of similar to Dogecoin for example. However, the market caps, which is the most important one, are still a bit different. The VeChain has about a third of Dogecoin or along those lines, but still quite a substantial market cap. And we can see there are these two supports over here. here, which had been previously broken here and here in April, and now we are bouncing off of those, and it looks like we are staying currently above. And if we switch to the 1-day chart, we can see that those supports go all the way back to the March 2020, so almost a year ago, and this more steep one into the October 2020, so more of a longer term. And also here is the previous all-time highs from 2018, which is quite a bit lower, so now we are really in the free space with not much resistances above. And if we check out this bull run, it has run for over 2000% in the upside, so pretty large gains in the last couple of months. And the bull run seems to be still going up a little bit. However, down here we can see some divergence on the momentum indicator, the MACD, not corresponding with those higher highs here in the price. And that's maybe why we could see this change of a trend and going downwards. However, now we are again approaching this zero line, and maybe if we can cross it, then we can stay above this support and continue going higher. However, there is also important to check the VeChain to Bitcoin ratio, which we can see that it has been going up quite substantially as well, and now it's trying to bounce off of some kind of a support. So checking this from a far back, we can see what is this support all about. It goes all the way back to 2019 actually on this ratio, and it was surpassed pretty much for the first time. We've broke this resistance previously quite severely, and now we are hovering still above, so that's a good sign because previously there were 2 rejections here and here. And also we are above the all-time highs from the 2018, so that's also a good thing for the VeChain token. So I think now it's gonna be again all about staying above this support line over here, and we can expect much more upside. And just a little side note, again there has been this divergence of the price action over here in relations to this momentum indicator, and therefore we could have seen some kind of a downward consolidation in the past few days. But again, we are approaching the zero line now, so maybe there will be this switch of buying momentum for the upside. And finally, also taking a look at the VTHO, so the VTHO token used for the gas fees on the blockchain itself. We can see that now it has actually fallen down in between some supports and also some other trend lines, and this goes quite a long way back as well, so to the start of the year 2021. Those are the pink ones, and also these blue ones roughly correspond to these all-time high peaks from the July 2020. But if we check out this percentage, it has been also on a similar huge bull run, over 2000% one. So there is the question if there is some steam still left in this token. However, from the past performance, I think we can see some pattern reoccurring every so often. So we might see a short creeping below this support line and then building some more momentum to a next spike, which could happen also here. And if we would do similar moves to the previous ones, like here and here as well, these were like 400% moves. This one was a little bit smaller, so about 200, and maybe we can tag again this upper resistance, which would fuel up another move similar to this one, so about 200 or 250% move, which would put us to about 0.07 US dollars. But as I mentioned, it's gonna be crucial if we are gonna be able to break this support and also swing back above this resistance over here and continue in the bull trend. And also we can see some kind of a divergence over here with the momentum indicator and the price action. So maybe that's the reason behind this smaller correction. But this time we managed to stay above above the zero line. We didn't cross over down below, so there should be still more buying momentum left in the VTHO. And this is it for today's overview of VeChain and also some technical analysis of the two tokens of the VeChain platform. I hope you enjoyed this one, and if so, please smash the like button and consider subscribing for more future crypto content to come on my channel. I thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Cheers!